saw my X post 30 minutes ago, or my Discord post, or
Mhm.
the Novita or Tencent posts, we're doing a flash webinar. I'm going to give everyone a minute to join in. I know we're streaming on YouTube and X, so feel free to ask questions, introduce yourself, tell me where you're calling. But we're going to get started in just a couple minutes. And it's a really exciting day. This live stream came together in about 45 minutes because Tencent's HY3 model is launching into GA today, or just launched. It's already available in the Kilo Gateway. So I'm going to actually give it a minute before people, to allow people to really jump in. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the new model. We're going to talk about its
Mhm.
performance, what we saw from kind of the preview uh, version that was available in Kilo for the last couple of weeks. And then we're actually going to do some live coding to compare it to some other popular models. So let me know in the chat where you're calling in from. I'm just monitoring both the X and YouTube streams here. All right. All right, cool. I think maybe Alex, do you want to introduce yourself before we really get into it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm Alex from Novita AI. I'm super excited to have this flash streaming with Brian, and where Novita is actually the Dazer or supporting a platform for HY3 model from Tencent. And yeah, it should be a fun session because we're going to do a live coding. We're going to like briefly go through the benchmarks like right after the model drops. I think it should be interesting. Yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think we can go ahead and get right into it. So basically, the gist of it is that we've had a trial of this model from Tencent called
Yeah.
HY3 Preview, and available in Kilo for a little while now, and it's become kind of one of our most popular free preview models. I know a lot of Kilo users kind of switch between the models that are free as they come and go in Kilo. And we definitely saw a lot of good positive feedback on this one during its trial phase. Um, but it's now launching into GA, which means thanks to Novita, it's going to be free of charge for a limited time with high limits, thanks to the compute provided by Novita. So what we're going to talk about today is kind of how it's different than the update, how it's different than the preview version. It's, according to the team at Tencent, it's a massive leap forward in reasoning, agentic workflows, and production grade stability. And beyond the preview stage, the Tencent team scaled up the RL training, reinforcement learning training, and fine tuned post training data quality, which kind of leads to the performance results, which are that in blind tests with real world expert workflows and coding, HY3 consistently outperformed similar size models and rivaled flagship open source models with about 2x to 5x the parameters. So you can use it in Kilo, all around Kilo. And what we're going to talk about first is maybe a little bit more background from Alex on the Tencent models. So maybe I'll throw it over to you, Alex.
Yeah. Let me share the actually. Previously, I believe some of you guys are probably already using this preview model, because uh, okay, can you see my screen? Did I
Uh,
share?
Now I can. Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as we just speak, we want to a little bit background of what is this HY3 model. So as you can see, previously they already dominating the open router leaderboard. As you can see, it's top four right now, and this is only his preview model, and now it should be the official one. And yeah, as far as I know, actually this time they did a fully training loop in terms of this new model. Uh, they start from the very beginning of pre-training and the overall process. And I think it's probably a big step for Tencent, for this their LM teams, because we know that a lot of Chinese open source models that already competed in like the the GLM, the Minimax, and I'm definitely happy to see a lot of open source models they can let people to easy access to, to use it with economic price and very competitive uh, you know ability. Yeah, I think I just show you guys the open router ranking, and just to set up the context that previously it has the real users, has the real requests. So here's a little bit about the previous benchmark, about their like, oh sorry, about their like preview version. So as you can see, let me zoom in. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, as you can see, previously they're still comparing with GM5, with Kimi K2.5, which is definitely not the latest one, and but they still demonstrate a very good benchmark in terms of in terms of the terminal bench or this answer bench. Yeah, but they're not that good at that moment. It's for very basic tasks, or you can consider it to be economic choice for you. But anyway, this is a previous benchmark, and from my point of view, it's basically surpassing those models at that moment, which I think it's good, but not that good. So yeah, let's check it out. What is the latest benchmark? I know that
Yeah.
Kilo has already did the Kilo benchmark. So yeah, Brian, can you show us the latest data?
Yeah, for sure. So actually,
Mm.
here I'm gonna share a page that my colleague Ari created, which is here. So we actually haven't done. Sorry, we haven't done a official Kilo bench pass because that takes a little while. That's gonna come out later today. But I just threw this
Mm.
page in the chat here, which is just kind of a summary. So this is actually the blog post that Ari wrote. Not so it's not this one. It is this one. Yeah. So this is the I just threw this in the YouTube live chat, but this is our Tencent HY3 page here that lets you kind of
Mhm.
compare the model to a bunch of other models. So you can click this button and compare it to any of the 500 plus models that are available in Kilo. You can see it in Pinch Bench here, which is our benchmark for models performance in personal AI assistant. So for agentic tasks, the best models for OpenClaw, essentially. And then you can review all of the Tencent models that are available in Kilo. So you can review the difference between Tencent's HY3 and HY3 Preview, which we just talked about, how they've made some major upgrades and updates in performance compared to the Preview model, which was already really popular in Kilo.
Yeah.
Um, so you can see the context window, the max output, the price per million token inputs, which is obviously very cost efficient, as Alex said. You can review the pricing on OpenRouter by clicking this button, and the ranking in the Kilo leaderboard here. And then you can kind of see a little bit of the performance in the benchmark. So Alex kind of touched on some of them, but some of the benchmarks where it performed really well are the side code, the terminal bench hard, LCR, and if bench. And you can review the scores here. And then eventually we're going to have some Kilo bench data, which is our in-house benchmark. And I think you can review it. Click leaderboard and then Kilo bench here. You can review our benchmark, which is based on Terminal Bench 2.0 through the Kilo harness. So you can, I think later today or tomorrow, you'll be able to review HY3's performance compared to some other popular models there. Um, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I can actually demonstrate some of this their public benchmark from Hugging Face,
yeah,
and yeah. Let me
please do.
share. Okay. Okay. Uh, am I sharing? No.
You are now.
Okay. Cool. So this is actually uh the Hugging Face page. If you guys are curious. But let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we can work through a little bit of parameters of this model itself, and its MOE, which is basically a general way. They have a very huge total parameters with actively only like 21 billion parameters. I think it's pretty good if you are trying to deploy locally because it's only activate like 21 billion parameters. It's very good for for limited memories, and yeah, if you have that machine, go ahead and deploy. I think it's definitely a very good model for local usage. And let's work through a little bit benchmark that they have already. And I was actually quite impressed the first time I saw this benchmark because uh, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. uh, because they are basically comparing with the latest top models like GPT 5.5 ops and the GM 5.2, and they really did a good job. Like they surpassed the DeepSeek and very close to GOM, even better in certain benchmarks. And actually, if you read through this benchmark, there is a very uh, obvious is as you can see they have SWE benchmark, they have terminal benchmark, and the cloud eval benchmark. That means this model is basically for agentic coding or the long context tasks. And I believe if you're using open cloud or Hermes or cloud or like kilo code the coding agent, this is definitely a good choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, and and I think it's yeah, there are a lot of data. If you guys are interested, go ahead and check the specific data. But personally, I think it's really good in terms of those numbers. Yeah, I think that's pretty much I want to share that they have right now. But I'm not sure if they're going to test it on artificial net analysis, the pretty popular platform. But yeah, maybe they will release some benchmark from that platform.
yeah, definitely. And I think one
Mhm.
thing that I have noticed from just talking to developers at conferences and kind of getting out there into the world and hearing what developers are looking for now from AI models, the few things I'm hearing a lot more, and Alex, I'm curious if you hear the same, are
Mhm.
that developers are more open to using models from labs that they weren't using before, and particularly open weights, open source models,
Mhm.
and faster and cheaper models. Those are the two things. So I think like a model like Tencent that comes from a lab that maybe not as many people know
Yeah.
compared to Anthropic or OpenAI, but it performs really well and it's inexpensive. You can the usage in Kilo kind of speaks for itself. I think a year ago, people were hesitant to try models from labs that they weren't familiar with. But I think even
Mhm.
the preview of HY3 shows that when a model performs well and it's cost effective, developers are going to use it. And I think that sentiment is just becoming more and more prevalent as time goes on and as these labs continue to innovate.
Yeah, definitely. I think uh, if if there's one day that those open source models actually surpass OpenAI or Anthropic, that's
Yeah,
going to be a big win for our society.
100%.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Well, in that case, I think it'd be cool to jump over to some live coding, which is always fun. And
yeah,
I'll
definitely.
share my VS Code extension here. And I'm also going to show off a feature of Kilo that I think is kind of underrated and fun, and maybe not everyone knows. Actually, let me share my window and not my screen so that you don't see all my other Mac stuff. There. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Okay, cool. So this is VS Code with the Kilo extension pulled up here. If anyone doesn't know, if you're a VS Code user, you can just pull up the Kilo extension from the extensions marketplace here. This is what it looks like when you're signed in. If you're signed in, you'll be able to use Tencent's HY3 for free again, with like really high usage limits. So you won't run into any usage problems when you're signed in. Also, this is a new feature. You can actually see some of the info about the model in the model selector, which I
Mhm.
think is a recent update to Kilo. But we're actually not going to use the main chat here because we're going to do something more fun. We're going to use the agent manager, which basically
Mhm.
allows you to spin up multiple coding agents in parallel, so they can all work on the same task at the same time without conflicting. And because I set up basically an empty Git repository here, I can do different work trees, which means that I can have different AI coding models all work on the same prompt in the same
Mhm.
project, and then I can pick my favorite of the bunch. So click this button here to open the agent manager. I'm actually going to close the main extension, so we're just looking at the agent manager here. Zoom in a little bit, and I know I'm like super zoomed in, but that's just for the live stream viewers, easier to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin up a few work trees, and I think we're going to go with what models should we use? We're obviously going to use HY3 and maybe Opus and Fable. I think would be cool, being the kind of
Yeah,
two.
Fable will be cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to click this button, and this creates a new work tree. Like I said, if anyone doesn't know what a work tree is, it's basically a Git functionality that allows you to have basically a copy of a repo, and have multiple copies of that repo and have agents work in them without conflict. That this button creates a new work tree, but if you click this little arrow and go down to configure new work tree, this is a really kind of underrated and interesting feature about Kilo, is that you can
Mhm.
actually go down here and click for multiple versions, and you can click compare models to select different models to all work on the same prompt. So we're obviously going to go. We're going to click HY3, the free. We're going to do Opus 4.8, and we'll go Fable 5. So I have the three models here: Tencent HY3, Opus, and Fable. Name will go HY3 tests, the name of the work tree. And for the prompt, maybe we'll do like create a 3D visualizer. This is a test I did with Fable when it first came out. So this is a good one, I think. Create a 3D visualizer of Earth spinning in space. And we'll say HTML. Does that sound good, Alex?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. We only use a few words. See how it works.
Yeah. That's kind of the fun of a one prompt thing, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's actually
more
going
variation.
to let the model to be creative.
Yeah.
Because you don't really specific about the color, the shape, or the rotation. Yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Let's create that work tree, and you can see it's spinning up three different versions. Here's the Fable one, here's Opus, and here's HY3. We'll also be able to see some cost information shortly when they get going.
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting feature because I like personally I think a lot of the developers that have that pinpoint to they wanted to use the same prompt to see if OpenAI is doing better or or HY3 is doing better. Uh,
Yeah. And wow, okay, so HY3, are you seeing it finished it like really fast?
Already?
Yeah. Like you see that? It's like it did one quick change.
Yeah, it's just like one prompt
That's
and
kind of
that's
crazy.
it. Like,
And then this is Opus, so that one is pretty quick too. Let me see. Did I do something wrong? Did I already have something built here? No,
uh,
they're all different. All right, so interesting. All right, so if you can see VS, that was so fast. It's like kind of like freaky. I this is the HY3, so it made you can
mhm.
review. This is I'm gonna go through Agent Manager a little bit here, but you can review the diff. So obviously it was an empty repo. So here's the HTML that just added it's 155 lines, pretty small. There's no cost here because it's obviously free in Kilo right now. We can review the Opus run, which costs 25 cents here, and you can review the diff if you want. And then Fable, which is 64 cents. So that's about in line with my expectations, like one quick file. Fable's obviously really expensive, so almost $1 for just one
Yeah,
file, 25 cents for Opus, and then free for 10 cents. I'm guessing if it wasn't free, it'd probably be less than a cent if I had to guess based on the
definitely.
and then how we can review these. So like I said, this generated 3 versions in Git work trees, so we could merge them into the main project here, whichever one we like more. But if you just want to
Mhm.
review the files for each, you can actually open them in VS Code. So this is you can just click this button, and apply would basically be apply the work tree changes to the local branch. So it's super easy to organize, but we can actually open this version of the project here, and we can review in the built-in browser of, oh, wow, it's pretty good. Oh, are you seeing this? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can. Yeah, okay.
You
You
can't see
probably
it.
need to share the
Yeah.
overall
I shared
monitor.
my whole window, I think. Um, yeah. So
Wow,
this is like kind of crazy, right? This is a
really?
HY.
Like, it's so vast, and I can't believe it's actually good. You know?
So my guess is like it pulled this skin from like some
Can you
resource
can
online.
you can you zoom in to like how?
That's the max.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So like
okay.
I've
It's
done
good
this
though.
test before. Look at, and the stars are like parallax, so that it
Yeah,
actually,
right. Like,
wow. I'm like super impressed, honestly. I've done this test before with different models, and sometimes they choose to like try to generate the graphics themselves, and then it turns into this like ugly blob of blue, green,
yeah,
and
not realistic stuff.
yeah.
Right.
And I'm curious if one of the other, because like that's kind of a non-deterministic choice that really impacts
Yeah,
the quality, but like it's a little bit unfair if it happens to choose to like go grab a skin from like a graphic skin from online and like plant it onto the impose it onto the globe. But wow, that's really good. All right, let's go back to, so yeah, that's the HY3. We'll go back to Opus and we'll open that in VS Code here, and this is the file. So we'll open. Are you still not seeing it? Yeah, I guess I have to share. Yeah, let me.
yeah. I cannot see.
Yeah, I think I need to share my entire screen, which is fine. Okay, so we can open. This is the Opus version. Click here
Mhm.
to open that version in VS Code. Here's the file. So we'll just click open an integrated browser. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, but you know, it doesn't have the stars. Kind of
It actually does,
and
but they're just really dim. Like you can kind of see
okay,
it's
okay,
the
I get
colors
it.
aren't as good in my opinion. Like let's jump back here.
Yeah, but the texture of the earth is a little bit like I'm not sure if this. Oh, oh, it's probably because the light.
Yeah. I mean it's still pretty good. Like it's still pretty
Yeah,
detailed.
definitely, definitely.
It's not I honestly prefer the colors of,
Yeah, me as well. I prefer HY3. I think it's like a real Earth.
yeah. All right, so now we can go to Fable. And like again, I
Mhm.
hope I explained this right, but like I've done this test, so like the model will either decide to try to generate the design of the Earth itself, and it will be really not good, or it'll
Mm-hmm.
go out and like download like an image skin of the Earth and impose it, and that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much the make or break here. So this is the uh, Fable. Okay,
Wow. Okay.
so
Okay.
here's what I'm noticing right away. I don't know about I'm not a fan of this
Mm-hmm.
blue like aura because that's not realistic, but the clouds are like a separate layer.
Yeah, the layer.
Like the clouds are rotating on their own, and then the Earth is beneath the Earth graphics are beneath it, which is pretty cool. That's one thing. I mean, it's Fable for a reason, right? Like it's gonna do a little bit
Yeah,
extra. But
definitely.
in
Definitely.
terms of like
I mean,
purely aesthetic, I don't know.
if you remove the blue circle,
Yeah,
I definitely agree with Fable is, because we only use one prompt. I think it's definitely, expensive for a reason. But the
yeah.
blue, did you get this before? The
So yeah, I
blue
haven't seen this.
circle.
I mean, they each kind of have it, right? They kind of have this
Yeah, a
glow.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is just like weirdly, maybe it's like the atmosphere. It's supposed to be the atmosphere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not expert in terms of that. Probably.
I'm impressed. Like you can even see if you look at the edge here, the clouds are like
Hmm.
and like raised and like rotating on their own. I mean, all in all, I'd say for the amount of money,
Hmm.
like I think the motion on this one is better with like the stars. I think that it's
Yeah,
like
and
yeah,
I think, like, personally, the most impressive thing is the speed.
yeah,
Because while we're talking, I noticed that HY3 already created a HTML file, like,
yeah.
super fast.
Instantly almost, right?
Hmm.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, I see some questions in the YouTube live here, so maybe we can go through those. I know we're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes, but
Yeah,
uh,
go ahead.
someone said, "Is this the first coding model from Tencent?"
Like, if you tried their preview model, uh, their preview probably they already integrate with the coding ability, but it's not that competitive compared with those coding models like GLM.
Yeah,
So I cannot say this is the first one, but this is definitely the strongest one, and they're kind of focusing on agentic ability, the coding ability. Yeah.
yeah. And also, I'm looking at the YouTube live right now, and the
Hmm.
graphics are not coming through as well because it's like a live stream. But just to the audience, trust me, the graphics are much more detailed than it
Yeah.
looks on the YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I see a question from Mark here. Um, Random question about Kilo and models. Does Kilo set the temperature, quantization, etc. for the user? Yes, there are defaults, but you can adjust them, I believe, in the model behavior. Let me confirm that for you, though. I think at least I think there are some configurations here. Maybe not anymore, but let me get back to you on that, Mark, because I think at, there are some configurations you can do. Maybe it's in the model layer itself. But yeah, there are defaults set by the Kilo agent.
Yeah.
And
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
uh, also, I just noticed that in their Hugging Face page, the HRS3, they have a recommended parameters for temperature and top P if you want to set. It says uh 0.9 for temperature is their recommendation. Yeah, if you're interested in details, go ahead to check their Hugging Face page.
And then also the we have a great engineer at Kilo who optimizes the model's performance in Kilo as well through the Kilo gateway. So anytime there's a new
Mhm.
model, we adjust and optimize the performance there. Um, okay, and then Mark also said, now prompt the low cost model HY3. I'm guessing, please add a cloud layer and see how that goes. All right, so it's a please add an independent. Look at me saying please. Cloud layer that rotates above the Earth surface graphics. Okay, you can see how long it's taking here. Coming up on 10 seconds.
Oh, what if I want to do? I want to send the prompt to the 3 versions that you just create. Can you can you do that?
I think you'd either have to create a new work tree or just prompt them
Uh-huh.
individually, because it's only like the first
Okay, get it.
prompt that. All right, so that took about 17 seconds. Let's go check on it here. Refresh. I think this is it, right? Not seeing it. Was that?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to zoom. Let's check it. Let's say. I don't see the clouds. Could have been a bad prompt too. Oh, it looks like it found a invalid cloud texture URL. So that's probably why. So maybe I actually would have been independent from the start if it had gotten a decent cloud texture.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that these models like know to search for like texture packages from.
Right, right. It's the first
And I
time I
also
know.
have auto approve on for everything. So
Yeah, that's definitely a very good feature. I need everyone know that.
yeah,
Like I think definitely no one is going to click the enter all the time. Oh, here we go. I saw
clouds
that. Yeah.
rotating. So how much does it cost, Mark? Well, the answer is 0 because HY3
Yeah,
is
0 right now. Oh, it's
um
going to be free for 2 weeks, so we still have a lot of time if you guys want to try it.
yeah. I mean, I think so. That's it from my end. Just to
Mhm.
recap, HY3 is a new general audience model from Tencent, and thanks to free and powerful compute from Novita, it's available for free in Kilo code for 2 weeks. You can use it anywhere you use Kilo, so VS Code extension, CLI, Cloud Agents, anything. And to use it, just go to the model selector, search for Tencent or HY3, click the one that says free here, and you'll be able to use it for free with really high limits. And based on this test, it's performing, at least in this task, pretty comparably to the most powerful and most popular models out there, Opus and Fable. And if you want to read more about the model, just go to the Kilo blog, blog.kilo.ai, where my colleague Ari just wrote a summary, and also visit the link I sent in the chat for more details, and look out for the Kilo bench run soon. Anything else you wanted to say, Alex, before we wrap?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much everything we're trying to talk about. We're going through the benchmarks, the live coding. I think the audience here should definitely have some impressions in terms of this new model from Tencent. And the most important thing is it's free now, and go ahead and use Kilo Code or our platform, whatever, and it's free. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Look out for maybe more Flash webinars in the coming weeks. And thanks so much, Alex, for joining us. And everyone go
Mhm.
try HY3 because it's free.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.